Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Gentleman's Debate podcast, episode 34.
34.
Don't do that Irish accent again, please.
Why?
Because it's just terrible.
'Cause
34 doesn't make sense anyway in the Irish accent. It was okay when we did 33,
Right.
but not now. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the next debate for the gentlemen. All about the worst day of the week. But first of all, we're going to be covering the results from our last debate, cats versus dogs, and having a little catch-up, seeing how everyone's doing, and any little funny stories we had during the week, which I have a few. Do you have any, Sam?
I spent pretty much all week passed out on my couch, so no.
Maybe Josh. Maybe Josh of York Video Pro, hashtag plug. For anyone early on in the podcast who loves some videography work and needs some done for their business, for photography.
So thanks for making it 20 seconds into the video, guys.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's do it. Just go and hit up his website, yorkvideopro.co.uk.
Yeah,
I remembered. Go to his website, look at his portfolio, and then email him and say, "Can I have some work done, please? And here's the money." Okay.
I'm pretty disappointed that we've kind of stopped with the porno plugs.
Well, after that first contract he had with Pornhub, and that didn't go too well. It was a bit messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, I thought I could film with one hand.
He had to pull out of the market, and he had to stop dipping back in. He just had to just make his way out there, and he's had to go on his own. He had to go his own way.
I was talking about filming porn at work yesterday, actually.
And
it looks like the most awkward thing you could ever do, because I've seen a photo before, and it's meant to be like a point of view shot of the guy getting head, and
so the guy, a woman performing fellatio upon a man, just to make sure that we're not using any derogatory terms or swearing.
How's head derogatory?
Because it's not a head, is it? I mean, people call the end of a penis a helmet. It's not a head, though, is it?
So, the cameraman was basically standing over this guy, but with the camera just in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's hugging him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's kind of cute. Getting a little hug.
Apparently there's a video that my mate told me about where the cameraman accidentally gets the money shot.
Oh, the cameraman gets it on him. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh. How would you feel like if that happened to you? If somebody badoinked on you?
I don't know how professional I could be.
Imagine you're getting a good angle, right? And you're your eyes in the viewfinder, and it just goes bang right into your face, and you'll have to go. You're you're screaming, but you're having to hold it back. The wet wipes are too far away, and you have to hold the shot. Do you know what I mean?
And then Josh is just like, I think you might want to get tested, mate.
Mate, have you been eating too much broccoli? Because this doesn't taste right. Anyway.
Just so you know, guys, I don't do that.
Not anymore. Not after the incident. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will be...
The lawsuit's still ongoing.
Yeah, we might not be doing this anymore.
I mean, there is a super injunction against it. So
super injunction? That's such a cool... As a legal term, super injunction does sound quite cool, doesn't it? I bet some lawyer was like, yes, I've invented a new legal term. Super injunction. Oh. Are you wondering what the voice was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do my normal. Ow, I love a bit of this. Oh.
What the fuck is that? Is that Churchill the dog?
No, it's Alan Partridge. It's kind of an impersonation of his voice.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like when you meet those really nerdy people who make jokes about their work, and their work is like an accountant or tax, those kind of people.
So accountants.
Yeah. Yeah, they still do tax, to be honest. They're kind of fucked up there, to be honest. But yeah, when you meet those kind of people and they can only talk about work, and you're like, oh my god, you're a drainer. I won't talk to you at this party anymore. You know those people? Yeah. If you're one of those people...
Yes, Simon, I do.
I don't make jokes about my work.
I couldn't resist that one.
I don't walk in and start talking about stuff from my work.
I mean, I talk about filming, and that's my work.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And people need to contract you at yorkvideopro.co.uk. Yeah, and follow you on your Facebook,
That's York
And
Video Production
Instagram,
and York Video Pro, yeah.
and your Twitter.
York Video Pro.
We do more plugs for him than we do for ourselves.
I know, which we'll say early on, ladies and gentlemen, for our people who watch on our YouTube channel while
Tech-
Sam dies.
I mean, technically, the
Pardon me.
podcast itself is a plug for you.
True. But people who watch on our YouTube
A
channel,
butt plug.
you child.
I wish.
Anyway, whoa.
Whoa. What, you wish I was a butt plug?
Hang on.
Wait,
Whoa. Let's go back. Let's go back. I know your girlfriend. I know your girlfriend, mate.
Yeah.
I've lived with her for a little bit. What you two been doing? I know that little. You got your own little room.
Nothing of the sort.
Nothing of the sort yet. Imagine if your girlfriend just goes, Josh, I didn't know. Oh, well, I'd love to.
You should have told me.
You should have told me.
Wow.
I love doing it. Imagine if she's proper into it and you're like, yes! Finally I can let my kinkiness out, and you go too far. And she's like, no, I just I just like sticking it in people's bum.
There you go,
That's
too
it.
far, and then you both end up dead.
You both die. Both die in a torture death. Anyway.
Well, it was extreme erotic asphyxiation, and we found a ferret up one of their asses. The ferret's going up Josh's ass. We know.
Well, at least we know.
It's just the head. The rest of the body is just claw marks on his ass from where it's tried to escape.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Josh is just clenched, just like, you're not getting out of this one.
I like how we haven't sworn yet on this podcast, and yet that is possibly the most offensive thing we said.
So, if anyone wants any video production,
You can pay me in services to do with ferrets up my bottom.
You must provide the ferret.
You must
Yeah.
provide the ferret.
just nip to Pets at Home.
Oh no!
I'll take it as a payment.
I'll take it as a payment. I don't need hay. We'll be done with him afterwards. We don't need the hay, if I'm honest.
It's experimenting
Maybe a
with bunny
treat.
rabbits.
Maybe a treat just to lure him in. No, you don't. Don't you dare talk about rabbits. I have 2 pet rabbits, ladies and
I'm not
gentlemen.
shoving a rabbit up my ass.
No, they'll fuck you up.
Might be a bit big as
They
well.
will fuck you up because they have very powerful legs, and they will dig their way out.
Or maybe they just like to eat the lettuce.
Oh, that's just. They don't like lettuce actually. Mine, at least mine don't. They don't like cabbage either.
They don't like carrots.
Kind of do. Stick a carrot up your bum. That'll be fine.
So moving on.
Anyway,
He's
for
already
those
been there.
for those people who listen to the podcast, you can actually find us now. Well, we've been on YouTube for a while, but go onto our YouTube channel, the Gentleman's Debate Podcast, and make sure you subscribe. And if you're already watching this video, make sure you subscribe and click on the notifications bell down below. And if you liked it, give it a like. If you don't, well, obviously dislike it, and leave a comment around about what you think of our debates. Do you think that we're correct? Do you think that we're wrong? Or do you have another suggestion that should be inside of the pool of the debate? And if so, we will, mention it in the next episode. Speaking of mentioning stuff from previous episodes, the results from our last debate, cats versus dogs. So we did 2 polls. We did one on Twitter and we did one on Facebook. Sam, do you want to do the Facebook poll first?
I will do the Facebook poll first. So, cats versus dogs. I had to argue for cats. Simon was arguing for dogs, and dogs absolutely smashed it with 76% of the votes, including a vote from myself.
You voted
I
against
voted
yourself.
against my own argument. I was
Wow.
happy to take this loss because dogs are way better than cats.
Yes,
I
I
like
agree.
cats.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, crazy cat people.
You like every kind of cat.
You can't hug every cat.
Oh, do you remember that woman? Apparently that
I
was
do.
a joke and not a real thing. I was like, oh, I wish that was a real woman, actually.
But I like the little gifts that I put up.
Yeah, they're quite cute. I like the
Yeah.
dog that appears from other dog.
Yeah.
That's quite cute. On Twitter, it was 75% dogs, 25% cats.
So dogs absolutely smashed it.
Dogs have basically destroyed anything to do with people.
But
what?
it is so true though, because dogs are better than humans.
Do you like
Massively.
dogs?
Massively better than
Dogs.
humans.
You like dogs?
Dogs?
Shout out
Get
to
the periwinkle blue.
Shout out to, what was that called again?
Snatch.
I was going to say Shooter then, I don't know why.
Shooter's a 2007 film starring Matt Wahlberg.
Oh, remember? That was alright, actually. I thought
Was
that
that
was
the one
okay.
where he's like in a game?
No.
No.
That was called Gamer, wasn't it?
Gamer with
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, the most Scottish American and Greek man you've ever seen.
Yeah, he's unusual.
My name is Gerard Butler and I'm from America. I'm a Texas Ranger. My name is Gerard Butler. I'm King Leonidas and I'm a Spartan warrior.
This is Sparta.
This is Sparta.
So
There has been a Sparta.
So
Was he in Taggart?
No.
Can you find out if Gerard
I
Butler
don't
was in
think Gerard
Taggart,
Butler
please?
was in
He
Taggart.
wasn't.
Didn't he start on EastEnders or something daft like that?
Can you find out his career, please? I'm a bit curious now. I know this is completely deviating from our existing debate, but,
imagine
or what our
that
debate will be. But
Absolute Clash of the Titan film coming out. Gerard Butler versus Lorraine Kelly.
Lorraine,
I'm pretty sure I did a Lorraine Kelly impression
what
on
does
the
she,
last one.
does she just do Loose Women and that's it? Lorraine Kelly.
Phrasing.
Does she just star on it? Like she's the host for
No,
Loose Women,
she's,
isn't
she's
she?
on This Morning, isn't she? She has her own section on This Morning.
Like Victoria Derbyshire on BBC.
Yeah.
I hate
I
that.
tell you what, right? I fucking hate the programme Loose Women in every single way. I think it's one of the biggest pieces of shit to ever, unfortunately, grace a television screen. But
I don't know.
I had it on yesterday because
And your dick was just
my
super
missus,
hard?
my missus's mother was round, and she didn't want to watch Friends,
What?
so we had to put Loose Women on. And
How is Loose
basically
Women? Sorry,
it was
how's Loose Women more entertaining than Friends? You know what I mean? Like Friends is significantly entertaining every single time I
Yeah.
watch those episodes. Loose Women is just a bunch of middle-aged women complaining about how life isn't as good as it used to be. You're right, love. Because when you were 20, you were actually fucking attractive.
Oh!
I'm looking at you, Lorraine Kelly.
So
Bring it.
I mean, I still wouldn't say no to Lorraine Kelly.
Imagine if she kicked the shit. Imagine she just came in the door and just kicked the shit out of me. Just
Oh,
like,
so she's gonna be like, "Hey, here you've been."
what's that voice?
I can usually do it, but when I've got a really bad throat, it's a bit impossible. And it'll lay a wee
Josh?
jobby on your chest. And I'm gonna call it Lorraine's pile.
So I had a bit of a go at a girl from work yesterday because she turned Commonwealth Games off for Loose Women.
Cunt.
Ooh, what was on the Commonwealth Games though? Because if it's like curling, I'd be like, okay, I can agree.
Curling's fucking
Speaking
awesome.
of curling, I'm gonna lay a wee jobby on your chest. But it was the last episode in their studio, and they were acting like the show was finishing forever. They had Stacey Solomon on singing that Spice Girls song, "Goodbye, my friend," because they're moving fucking studio.
Ant and Dec have they're moving studio. Like, basically, all of ITV are moving
Yeah,
studio
'cause
to
it's
a
all being
cheaper
renovated.
facility. It's just they're going to a cheaper facility. You know, like BBC, they moved. So a lot of BBC moved from London to Manchester. Basically, the kind of the government has said you need to be more. You can't be so London centric. You need to be spread around the country more. But then, like, BBC's always been good because remember Doctor Who? That's filmed in BBC Wales, I think it is. BBC Wales
Don't watch
produced it.
crap.
I'm just saying it's a show. I'm
be
not
honest-
saying quality of it.
Manchester has Media City for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, you know, you can pay people a lot less money in Manchester because it's Manchester. Sorry, Manchester. But it's true. I
I
mean,
just found out with Manchester though, the city centre's really nice.
yeah,
And
it
then
is.
just the further out you go, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And then you get to Oldham. And Oldham's one of the worst places. on
You're
the
not a fan of
planet.
Oldham?
I fucking hate
Never,
Oldham.
not a fan. Interesting. You got Salford outside of Manchester as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, which has got Salford's got a
And then you got
rugby.
Stoke right next to it.
Yeah, and you got Preston up north of it. All sorts of stuff. Liverpool's very close to Manchester. I keep forgetting how
Oh,
close
yeah.
it is.
20-minute train in between
Yeah,
them.
it's ridiculous. Those big cities so close to each other.
That's why they all hate each other.
Yeah, exactly. But it's another. So going back to the debate, the actual show. It's another win for me.
Yep.
Very happy about
You're
that.
catching up.
Yeah. What's
You might even be level now.
how many have you won?
I can't remember.
We probably have to go back through and
Yeah.
we can figure this out and maybe
Should
do
have been
a
keeping the
counter.
score. We did ask Josh to keep the score, but I don't
Yeah,
think he's-
Josh.
Come on, Josh. You little gremlin.
Yeah. Oh, we're not bringing that back because we have to
Are
bring
we?
back your nickname of Fartsmite.
I'll take it.
Fart Smite. I genuinely do believe we should get you like a T-shirt that is
It says Fart Smite on
a
it.
knight. Like I thought it would be funny if it was the Black Knight just levitating off of the floor from a fart. I think that'd be quite good in a cartoon drawing.
It says Smite, not Knight.
Yeah, it's smite is like when you smite
Yeah, I
someone,
suppose,
so like
yeah.
a knight would smite someone. I'll smite you
Or
upon
just
the.
God farting.
Yeah, but then that's giving you too much. Like that's inflating your ego too much. You don't need that when your nickname's
Why?
Fart
Because you're
Smite.
comparing me to an imaginary character.
Oh. Well, we just lost our fucking American audience, you cunt. And there's the first swear word of the podcast.
Oh no, I already said cunt earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, that's our third cunt. That's our fourth.
Boom. We're not getting that counter, are we, Josh?
We're going for that magic 5.
We're not allowed. Are we not allowed the counter?
Well, you can have a counter, but you can't have monetization.
That is true. That is true. It's weird that is.
Ooh, do I fight for my right to say cunt? Or money?
I say fight for your right to party. Beastie Boys. Shout out to the Beastie Boys. Apart from one of them's dead, which is a shame. But we will be in the future. We won't just be focusing on just doing YouTube. We will be doing live streaming onto Twitch and other live streaming platforms. Funnily enough, YouTube live streams as well. So we'll be doing that. So you can actually catch us on different platforms. You don't just have to focus on YouTube if you don't like it.
Although, do that.
Although do that as well, yes. But we will now go on to the topic of this debate, which is what is the worst day of the week? This is going to be an interesting one because I think it's different for all people. I think it depends on your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for most people, we all realistically have the same sort of thing where we work 9 to 5 jobs, or you go to school, or college, or university, and it's usually you do all of your classes or or your job during the week, during Monday to Friday, and during specific time. But then, the weekend's usually free. Yeah? So this will be interesting. This is kind of, obviously we're British, so, we're going to be putting it from our perspective, but I think this will cross over to other places, like in America, for example. Shout out to our American fans who've recently come on board to the podcast. Thank you very much for listening and subscribing.
And I just got rid of him.
And then goodbye.
My bad.
But yeah, we will go into it. So, Samuel, what would you say is the worst day of the week?
My pick for the worst day of the week is a Tuesday.
A Tuesday.
A Tuesday.
And why'd you say that?
So, everyone usually would go for a Monday because they think it's the beginning of the week. I've got so much longer left of this. It's awful. It's terrible. But in actual fact, because you were expecting Monday to be terrible, you're expecting it to be a long slog, you're expecting it to just be the worst day, Mondays actually usually end up going pretty quick and passing by fairly easily. Because everyone, you forget when you're in work, everyone else is sort of in that same boat. So if you're in a place of work like me, where you're dealing with other people within the company, they're exactly the same. They just want to get through it. They want to just get through the week. Whereas Tuesday, you're expecting that to then go, right, okay, we've got past Monday. This should be all right. And Tuesday usually ends up being the killer. It goes so slow. Everyone seems to be in an ass. And it's just a terrible, terrible day of the week.
Yeah.
And then what good happens on a Tuesday? What's good on a Tuesday night on television if the Champions League isn't on?
Used to be CSI.
That's the saddest sentence I've ever heard you say.
I love CSI.
Yeah, but it's over now. Really.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It used to be CSI.
Yeah.
All around me are familiar faces. Yeah, poor old CSI. I don't know what happened to that show. I know. It was just repetitive. Got boring very quickly.
Well, you go on for 15 seasons and...
I know, they went on for a fucking long time. Shout out to CSI. It's a good point, Sam.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are... I agree with some of the points there, that it's can be quite slow. People usually are a little bit more grumpy. And often, people who've taken a Monday break come back on the Tuesday and then they're grumpy because it's their Monday. So I'd say Tuesday's like the nasty version of Monday. It's the really the big bugbear. But in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I would have to say the worst day of the week has to be Sunday.
Interesting.
Two or threefold argument, really, around about it. First of all, in terms of inconvenience, Sunday is one of the most inconvenient days to do anything. Mostly because shops, stores, etc. are closed or have shorter opening hours. So if you actually want to get anything done, like if you want to like go shopping, get your food shopping, or you want to go to the DIY store because you want to do some DIY, or go to basically do anything that you would want to do with your free time, which is usually the Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is a basic write-off because of the short amount of time that you can do anything. And therefore, that moves on to my second point of stress. There's a lot of stress on Sunday because you have to get ready for the week, get ready for the next, the coming of Monday. You must prepare for it. So, you have to get all your clothes clean and ironed. You have to get everything prepared at the home, so maybe you have to do like cleaning, tidying up, etc. You've also got to, if you want to do any chores, like you need to go and buy something, the stress of the shorter opening times now compounds further onto that point. But then also you're mentally preparing for the harrowing situation of having to walk in at usually depending on your working hours, 9 o'clock on Monday, of having to talk to the humans that you are paid to have to interact with. And there's the problem, because they're not your mates, because Friday, Saturday, they're your mates. You mate time, you get picked to spend time with them, you get to hang out with them, you get to enjoy your free time. But on Sunday, even though it's meant to be your free time, you're forced to have to prepare for the humans that you have to interact with by force. And that's an interesting point. Now, I'm not saying there isn't good bits on a Sunday. For example, Sunday roast. Now, a Sunday roast, when anyone says, people go, oh, food in Britain shit. You've never had a beef roast dinner, full beef roast dinner.
Beef or lamb or pork?
A beef roast dinner with Yorkshire puddings, because that's traditional.
There's another debate right there.
That's traditional. What I will say is Yorkshire puddings could be used in any food, in my opinion. You could put it in fucking ice cream if you wanted to, and I'll eat it.
Oh, Yorkshire puddings, yes.
Anyway, we could do that as another debate in the future. But the saving grace of Sunday is is the roast dinner. However, it goes back to my second point of the stress. Roast dinners are fairly complicated to be able to make. I mean, you've got to roast everything at the same time, or not at the same time, in staggered ways, so they all are prepared at the exact same time. And it usually means one or two people are tied up for the entire day. And that's very time consuming when you want to, you only have a small household and you want to try and get stuff. And if people have children, Sunday is a bit of a weird day because you have to get them ready for school, for example, or college or whatever. You have to get them ready for that and then get yourself ready for work. The working week that will be coming. For people who, may not work, like homemakers, for example, men or women, or people who do not identify as either, ticking the boxes, you've got an issue of you having to prepare other people for going back to some form of work. So I think that Sunday is often a very stressful, labour-intensive day, even though it's meant to be one of your free days, one of the weekend days. And that's my argument. It's not really a day of rest, unlike it's prescribed in, people say it's the day of rest, for example, who are religious. But realistically, it's not really a very restful day, in my opinion. So that's my argument. That's my kind of leading argument there, Sam.
Right. See, a few years ago, I would have probably agreed with you with Sunday because I used to work in just a pub. That was my job quite a few years ago, and I would do 2 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight every Sunday without fail. It's a day that I just could not get off. And it was an absolute nightmare, and I hated every last second of it.
It's fair enough.
Now I get Sundays off, which is absolutely great, and I love them because Sunday for me is just the day of laziness where I just do absolutely nothing except sit on my ass in my living room and watch Super Sunday,
It's football.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is pretty much
Didn't know that was football.
heaven for me.
Can tell I'm not a football fan.
That is just. So I never get that feeling of Sunday. Like, yeah, you get that feeling like, oh, I'm back to work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm in my element, I just don't give a shit. I'll worry about getting back to work when I'm actually on the bus back to work the next day. That's when that starts to hit me. And to be fair, like I can't remember the last time I've actually had a Sunday roast. Do you have a Sunday roast every week?
No, and that's the bit that bums me out. I really do want a Sunday roast every week, if I'm honest. If I had the choice, I would have it every week. But the issue is, it can be so labour intensive because you have to prepare in advance. So much food.
Should we go for something to eat after this?
I'm going to the gym after this, unfortunately, guys. But we could do. Are you hungry now? Have we made you hungry?
I'm always hungry.
I'm always hungry. You see Josh now as
Josh goes home and just shouts at Kathy, "Make a Sunday roast!" But
No.
it's not Sunday. I don't care!
no Brussels sprouts.
No sprouts.
Yeah, you shouldn't have shouted then, should you?
No, I really shouldn't.
You fucked your throat up then.
Yeah.
But no.
Let's not bring up the sprouts.
Yeah, but we could. I don't know why, as friends, we don't go to pubs more often and do Sunday roasts. Like we used to do it when we went to Weatherspoons. Money, I don't know.
Some of us.
Yeah, but like we used to go to Weatherspoons, but Weatherspoons have stopped doing that now. But there's other pubs in York, which is where we're from and where we film, that could do nice pub lunches and roast dinners and stuff like that.
Probably be more of a summer thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You don't really want to go out your house when it's winter.
Because at the moment we are in April, which is meant to be spring, which is meant to be the start of the nice weather, and it's shit.
In Britain, yes, that is true. But however, they say that it should be warming up next week to a positively balmy 17 degrees Celsius.
I'll take it.
So be like,
I'll
I think
take it.
what's it like now? Like 10? It's a ridiculous. Like
It's fluctuating between like 5 and 10. Sometimes like going back down to 1
but
in the
here's
morning.
the thing, like
At the moment we're 11.
in Britain, well, that was a good guess from me, wasn't it? I'm quite happy with that. In Britain, this is the thing. Like a lot of people in Britain, like go, "Oh, I remember when it was warm and stuff like that." Well, Britain isn't exactly renowned for warm weather. It's a moist country.
Moist.
Yeah, it's like a wet.
It's very very humid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's designed.
We
It's
always
always
have
been.
been.
It's been a little bit cold and a little bit wet, and that's what it's always
Yeah.
been like.
We usually get our really nice week of summer in May because it's always on my birthday. It's always absolutely boiling on my
Yeah.
birthday.
And we
That's
all-
the one good thing about my birthday.
We all rush out for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Take all of our clothes off almost immediately, and try to have a barbecue outside. And then it will inevitably rain
Yep.
when you try to do the barbecue.
Absolutely, yeah.
When is your birthday,
May
by chance?
May the
23rd.
Well, if we're doing a podcast on that day, we'll have a little birthday party
It's
for
a
you.
Wednesday, so
Aw.
I'm on holiday then, so guaranteed.
Where are you
Good
off on
weather,
holiday?
hopefully.
Sorry.
Greece.
you motherfucker.
Which bit of Greece? Sorry.
Halkidiki.
Do you know where that is? Sorry. I have no idea where Halkidiki
You
is.
speaking Dothraki?
Halkidiki. Where is Halkidiki in?
It's like one of the islands.
Nice.
Greece is made up of many islands.
Yes.
That's not very descriptive.
It's around the Macedonian area.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. So it's up towards the north.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's interesting. How long are you away for?
10 days.
10 days. Cool. Are you going with your girlfriend?
Yep.
Is it just you and your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Sexy time in Greece.
I hate you so much right now.
That sounds quite
Greece
nice.
was actually the first place I ever had sex abroad.
Really?
Mm.
Oh, cool.
Well, Corfu.
It's Corfu? Yeah, it's part of Greece, isn't it? Yeah. I remember it used to be under control by the British.
Oh.
British Empire. But that's interesting. Was it with anyone we know?
Yeah.
Oh, with your girlfriend?
Mhm.
All right, cool. Hi, Sam's girlfriend.
Because, yeah, that was the first place I'd been on holiday for 14 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. That was in 2015 I went there. It was great. It was a fantastic holiday. Absolutely loved it.
I bet you did.
But yeah, and
You had a very good...
the last time I went on holiday before that was 14 years ago when I went to Disneyland Paris for 3 days.
Disneyland Paris. Is it good in Disneyland Paris? I've been to Disney World in Florida.
It's
Disney World is an insane place.
I'm sure if you are a big, proper Disney person, it's your kind of thing. I wasn't really. I would probably I'd appreciate it a lot more now, and I'd like it a lot more now because now they've got all the Star Wars and Avengers stuff.
And
But-
Harry Potter. No, sorry, not Harry
No,
Potter.
not Harry Potter.
That's Warner Brothers Studios.
But yeah, for me back then, it wasn't really. It was actually for my sister's birthday that we
fair
went.
enough. Cool.
Yeah,
I've been to.
and then for my birthday that year, we went to Pizza Hut.
I can tell who's my favourite in your family.
Yep.
By any chance, was this on a Tuesday, and that's where you've harboured your hatred towards Tuesday 4?
It could quite possibly be.
Imagine if it was a Tuesday. Imagine this is a childhood thing, and he's like, fucking go to Pizza Hut, fucking Tuesdays.
The thing is, I fucking love Pizza Hut.
Pizza's alright.
All I ever usually want to do for my birthday is, Pizza Hut and cinema. I'm quite content with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was the option,
Yeah, if option to go to Disneyland Paris, yeah.
I mean, I'd probably take it.
Yeah, I've been to Disneyland Paris before.
Never been to Paris,
It's
as I
alright.
said. Been to the Florida one.
I got injured on the Indiana Jones ride. I kept banging my head against the side.
Well,
That
that's it,
explains a lot.
I don't like roller coasters.
Wow. All right.
I don't like roller coasters, so I
I'm
got.
shit scared of them.
So the funny thing is, right? It was for my
I love
sister's
roller coasters.
birthday. Hilariously, she ended up with bronchitis, so spent pretty much the whole time in a bed in the hotel because she couldn't get out of bed.
Does your sister watch the podcast?
I have no idea. She'd laugh anyway. It's fine. So I was the one who got taken around the park,
Okay.
and I'm like, but I don't like roller coasters, and I just got forced to go on all these roller coasters.
Your mum
And
was
I
like,
fucking-
get on the roller
No,
coaster!
it was my aunt.
Right.
Um,
And he was just like, get on the roller coaster.
Yeah,
and you're
took
like,
me
no,
on Big Thunder Mountain. I was like, I don't like this.
get on.
The only thing I actually enjoyed was the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I loved the Men in Black one. You know, where you go around and you basically get to shoot the aliens. I was with my dad. I absolutely destroyed my dad on points. Like, I got 3 times the amount of points as him. And I was like, you're the guy who's learned to shoot actual guns. And I've done 3 times better than you old git.
Yeah, he let you win.
Because
Oh, don't you dare say that. Don't take this away from me. Don't you dare. I got a very high score.
pretty sure it's common knowledge as well that like arcade games are nothing like the real thing.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just
like,
trying to
for the
emphasize
actual-
my point here, Sam. Thanks for fucking
Yeah, I
tearing it
remember
down.
the Toy Story ride as well. It was similar to the Men in Black one.
Well, you shoot things.
Yeah, I'm sure you had a
What the fuck are you shooting toys at?
blaster or something.
Is it the one where you like?
I think it's like Zergs.
Yeah,
or something,
yeah, I know what you mean. I remember that.
The best part about Disneyland Paris for me when I went was the carvery in the Disneyland Park Hotel.
They'd have a carvery in a interesting. I was talking to
Fucking
somebody.
meat was delicious.
Delicious. Well, it's French. That's why, mate. It's good. Some good French culinary skills, probably. When I say that, it's in Disneyland Paris, so it probably isn't particularly good, but probably a lot.
Oh no,
better.
what in the 5-star hotel?
Oh, there's a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, it's the only time I've ever stayed in a 5-star hotel.
Sweet.
Like a palace.
There you go, Louise. Have that for your birthday, Sam. Here's a lump of coal, you prick.
Hey.
The pizza Hut woman comes along and goes, yeah, here's your pizza. Oh, do I get sung happy birthday? Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Right, I'll see you later. See you later, guys.
At least you got pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza's decent.
It's true. It's very true.
Admittedly, in our one of our
They really
previous
hated me though,
podcasts.
to taking me to Domino's.
Well, yeah, exactly. In one of our previous podcasts, we established that Pizza Hut is the exact superior pizza house inside the United Kingdom, which you can probably go and watch. We'll put a little card somewhere here, so you can watch one of our previous episodes, Domino's versus Pizza Hut, whichever way it is, down, up, it doesn't matter. You'll see the card eventually. Sam, stop it! Stop pointing. Oh, okay.
That's definitely where it's going.
Oh no!
The nipples.
But but the fun world of days of the week, eh? I know that's a massive segue, ladies and gentlemen. We're sorry about that, but this is what we do in the podcast. We segue away just so we can have a more well-rounded conversation, because otherwise, if we just kept going on about the same thing all the time, it may get a little bit dry and a little bit boring, and we want to try and tell each other funny stories.
We all know the best day of the week is Friday. Or maybe Saturday.
That's a toughie.
Actually,
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
I wouldn't
take that
technically-
back. I
I
take
wouldn't
that
take-
back. It's
Saturday,
Saturday.
you're not at work.
Yeah,
I would
true.
say this is the tricky bit. This is the really tricky bit. It's not an actual day. It's a time of 24 hours. As soon as it hits 5 o'clock on Friday, the 24-hour clock starts of the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
suppose.
five on a Friday
Well, 3:30 for me.
or whatever,
Or whatever time I finish
whatever
work.
time you finish work on a Friday, and then to and then another 24 hours is good. After that 24 hours, it's shit because you're rolling into Sunday and yeah.
I don't know. You still could be gearing up to go out on Saturday night or do something exciting
Yeah,
on
but
Saturday night. So I think as soon as it hits that 10 o'clock Sunday morning, when you actually wake up and you go, fuck.
And that's another reason, another argument that's given to me almost instantaneously there about why I believe Sunday is the worst. It's because often you wake up with it with a steaming hangover.
That's why I've started going out on Fridays.
Yeah,
Because
but-
we're getting old. We get the 2 days.
However, doesn't help when you're doing a podcast on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
True.
True. Which I have come into this hungover and it has fucking killed me. Because I've been like, yeah, whatever, can't be arsed.
I mean, this is why Sam's always like, can we just do it at a different time?
Yeah, Sam.
I've done that
Sam.
once.
Yeah, you haven't done it too many times.
Yeah, 17 times. That's something.
All right, Josh is harbouring some ill will towards Sam today. All right, mate, flipping heck.
Did I fuck you in your dream last night or something?
I wish.
Did I refuse you? Did I turn you down?
Mm.
Did I turn you
I
down?
like that.
Did I turn you down and opt for Simon instead? It's just because his head looks like the tip of my penis.
Hey, hey.
What,
First of
bushy?
all, why is it so pale? Second of all, why is there not a groove? Right?
Third, why do you have hair on your penis?
Why do you have it on the
Everyone
the
has
s-
hair
on
on
the
their
tip of a
penis.
penis.
on the s-
Everyone
yeah,
has a
on the
beard.
tip? You'd have a tip
beard, don't they?
tip beard.
It's called the foreskin, guys.
Tag tip.
Oh no, that's when I'm wearing a turtleneck, mate. Come on, that's when I've shaved everything and I'm wearing a turtleneck. One of my friends did say I do when I've shaved my whole face and head, and then I wear a turtleneck. It does look like I'm a dick that's busted through a condom. Which is quite.
Wow.
When he said that, I went. I'm never wearing this turtleneck again. However, I do like it because it makes me look like a Bond villain.
Then for me, is it t-shirt weather all the time?
Why?
No turtleneck.
You don't have a turtleneck. You don't have a foreskin. Are you circumcised? I didn't know that about you. This is interesting. We learned something new about the podcast. Let's talk about this at great length now, rather than the day of the week.
Choice or
Wow.
Jewish?
Is your family?
Neither.
Is your family?
Medical.
Oh, medical.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have it as an adult or as a baby? Sorry.
Adult.
Oh shit.
I actually know quite a few people who've had that done.
As an adult, having a circumcision. Ooh, man. Were you awake for it or?
So should we edit this bit out of the podcast?
Oh, is this a bit personal? Sorry.
I'm sure people don't want to hear about my
We don't need. No, we're not going.
circumcised penis.
We're not going to do about the medical procedure. It's just that's an interesting thing, just to find out.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to hell for this.
That's an
So go
interesting
into the
thing.
medical procedure.
So, yes.
But
Was it Kathy? Did she demand it?
She did not demand it.
Oh, that's one of my
Josh!
I mean, there's loads of weird shit that probably we've had. I mean, I've got a dodgy ankle for God's sake, where I got it snapped. I got the tendon snapped by a
I have-
12-stone Turkish bloke.
I
and
mean,
had to
it's
get
not a
redone.
competition, but I have two.
You have two what? Snapped
Dodgy
ankles. Oh,
Yeah, I've done the ligaments in both
oh
my
yeah,
ankles.
you told me
Yeah.
about it.
I've got dislocated kneecaps.
Dislocated kneecaps. So yeah, we're all a bit medically fucked up, to be honest. Um,
I mean-
I have asthma, so I can't breathe properly.
I mean, this is quite a segue from the worst day of the week, if I'm honest.
well, did it happen on a Tuesday? If it happened on a Sunday,
Maybe on a Sunday, yeah.
chill on Sunday. We should have got Craig David on for this, shouldn't we?
It's been great, yeah.
We should have got Craig because he needs the money.
Because he met her on a Monday, took her for a drink on Tuesday. We were making love by a Wednesday. And
So
on a
Wednesday's the
Thursday,
best
and
day.
Friday and a Saturday. And then they just chilled on Sunday because of their rampant love making.
Yeah,
They just couldn't handle it anymore.
yeah. It's a lot of love making, to be
That is
honest.
a lot.
Every day.
Is
I don't know, mate.
that a lot?
I don't know. I couldn't.
Is that a lot?
I don't want to look at people that often.
You'd have to look
Do you
at
want to?
them.
Do you want to fuck off?
You'd
now?
have to look them in the eye.
But days of the week, man. It's to go back and segue back towards our actual debate topic rather than any medical procedures that we may or may not have had.
It's an interesting one.
Oh no, Sam, come on! I was trying to get it back on.
I've never had any type of surgery in my life.
Really?
Never.
I've had it. The ankle, left ankle thing. They had to reattach everything.
Yeah. I've never been under any anaesthetic.
Well, now on the Gentleman's Debate live show, we play a real version of
Surgeon Simulator.
Put the foreskin on Sam's penis.
Oh no.
Because Josh kept it. Did you keep it as a trophy?
If I'm honest, I don't want to know any more
Did Kathy
detail.
cook it with sprouts?
No, no. Do you know? Here's an interesting thing. Why people eat? Some women eat their, when
placenta.
Their placenta
Yeah.
when they give birth. They eat that. I was like, oh.
And do you know what? They did it on a Tuesday as well, so that's why it's the worst day of the week.
Shut up.
They gave birth on Monday. They put it in the fridge on Tuesday.
Oh, but ladies and gentlemen,
Supplied an
Sam,
African village for Wednesday,
Sam,
Thursday,
stop.
Friday.
To go back to the fucking debate of the worst day of the week.
Because all I'm saying is, here's 5 minutes of a podcast that's missing.
Yeah, we have to edit a little bit of this out. The worst day of the week. Worst day of the week. Sunday, right? It's too. Do you know people like big it up as like, oh, it's the restful day? It's too bigged up. It's like people always go, oh, I'm resting that day. Oh, I want to chill out that day. Oh, no, I want to.
I'm resting with my head over the toilet.
Yeah, it's way too overprescribed that's the rest day. When in actuality, you could have other nice restful days. Like a good Saturday could be. Like a Saturday could be decent. And the issue is that we're mostly formulating this around people being at school or being at work. But what about if you're not and you don't do either and you're a tramp? Right?
Not going back to this again.
No.
Let me tell you about the story when I punched a tramp in the face.
No.
What day was it on?
Tuesday
it wasn't, you lying cunt. But when you think, if you didn't have any of those responsibilities, like if you were, I don't know, say you had no responsibilities like that, you were a millionaire. Like, you don't have to worry about work. Well, you kind of have to, even if you're a millionaire, you kind of have to work around people who are working. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think that you'd still get that feeling of like stress and dread that you get on Sunday, even if you were like a millionaire, because you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to do meetings on Monday about my property portfolio, or I'm gonna have to buy a Jag on fucking Monday. I'm so stressed.
Why are these people doing everything on a Monday?
Because Monday's the first day of the week. You'll bash it all out early, and then you can relax maybe on a Tuesday. I think Tuesday's a secret sleeper, in my opinion. Because Tuesday, for work people, is often when you've had the mentalness of Monday, where all the tasks have come in over the weekend. Yeah? Yeah.
See, I don't.
It's different for you, but a lot of people, and this includes me, you'll have an entire backlog of emails that you have to answer. You might have a missed call or two that you have to answer. You'll have loads of tasks that you should have done on Friday, which you didn't do, so you now got to do it on Monday. So then Tuesday is like the normalization of the week. It's literally like what Monday should be, which is just a reintroduction to the week. That's why I believe that, Tuesday isn't actually that bad. I do believe I can kind of get on board with like, oh, it's kind of a annoying day because it's so much more of left of the week. However, Hump Day, Wednesday, is everyone can agree that it is, not a great day because it's in the middle of the working week, and therefore no closer or no further away from the actual enjoyment of the weekend. Now, what I will say is, I believe when it comes to the Sunday, that is the precipice that leads up to the hell that is a Monday. And that precipice, that bit, it's coming. You're going to have to go back to work, you're going to have to go back to school, etc. That's going to suck. And you get that stressful dread as well. All the stuff you left on Friday. Because on Friday, you basically just go, I'm done. And you drop everything and you're out that door at 5 o'clock. Well, thing about Sunday is you remember all the stuff that you should have done, and you go, oh fuck, I should have done that, I should have sent this report, I should have sent that, I should have done my homework, blah 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 blah. And it just gets you all uppity and stressed, and you don't want to do it. Admittedly, the redeeming factor of a roast dinner, but that roast dinner only lasts like 20-30 minutes. The enjoyment, at least, anyway, of it.
If you got leftovers, which you have on a Monday, and then on a Tuesday you're like, oh fuck, I wish I would saved these leftovers for Tuesday, but you didn't. You didn't save those leftovers for Tuesday, did you? No, Tuesday's shit.
Another thing I'd like to point out is that you often will go for work meals on a Tuesday.
I don't go for work meals.
Oh, it's kind of nice. You'll like start talking to somebody at work, and they're like, "Oh, should we go for dinner?" And you're like, "Oh, you're free tomorrow? Yeah. Let's go for a meal. Let's go for some drinks." I feel like that's a good
Who
way.
goes for drinks on a Tuesday? What kind of madman are you?
But if you want to socialise with your work colleagues, mate,
I never get invited.
the word,
I do. That's a lie.
the good ones,
We just don't do much very often.
the good colleagues who are like, "Oh yeah, let's hang out outside." You know, like some of them do it. Not everyone. You know, you don't have. And sometimes you're like, "Oh, I don't really feel it. Like I'm not in the mood for going for drinks on a Tuesday, or going for a meal on Tuesday." But you know, sometimes they do that. But also, I will say, you often get a lot of good deals in bars and restaurants on Tuesdays because they need to get people in. Because Tuesday's usually a fairly dead day for people. They want to get people in, so you have like drinks deals, and half price off food, and for like half price off bowling, for example, at York Tenpin, who are not a sponsor of this podcast.
But please, give us money.
Yet. But you can often go to York Tenpin Bowling and get half price off bowling, and also half price off of all of your drinks there. So why not go to York Tenpin Bowling? It does sound like I'd be good for a little. I could do like terms and conditions apply. I could do that quite
That's
easily.
the best free advertising they've ever had.
Yeah, probably. Well, imagine if everyone who listens to this podcast went, "Yeah, mate, Gentleman's Debate sent us," and they're like, "Who the fuck is the Gentleman's Debate? Who the hell is these pricks?" And then they listen to it like, "Oh, great, yeah, right. Well, thanks to the free advertising, but you know, we're not gonna pay for it." I mean, we got bowling balls to clean. We ain't paying for this. Tuesdays. Tuesdays aren't that bad, man. I think Tuesdays are just basically the equalisation.
Where you say they're the silent.
It's the equalisation. It's the silent Monday.
Yeah,
that's the way I put it.
I say they're the silent killer. That, you know, like I just always go back to that point where you're expecting them to be fairly decent, whereas you're expecting the Monday, and that psychology can play a lot into it.
Can we do
into your mood? And I think that Tuesday just drags and drags and drags.
Can we do a little experiment here, Josh? We're going to need your Googling skills in a second. Could you Google serial killers that were born on a Tuesday?
I mean, that's a stretch.
And then we'll do serial killers that were born on a Sunday, and we'll compare. Yeah?
I'm going to love your Google internet history.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, you know. Might change the Discover features on Pornhub.
Those targeted Facebook ads are going to be a lot more interesting.
Mr. Zuckerberg, stop reading my emails.
Just as another segue, did you see that the video that they released of him in answering the questions?
Yeah.
When I'm emailing on WhatsApp, and he's just like, well, you don't like, and I don't think they understood that WhatsApp and Facebook are two separate companies. It's fucking hilarious.
It's just that he owns it. So Facebook owns WhatsApp, I think.
Right, okay.
Yeah, or is it Instagram? I know Facebook owns Instagram, but they're technically separate, but he can basically say what the fuck he wants about it. I think Facebook does own WhatsApp, actually. Do we have any idea as of yet, Josh?
So it's more going into like the date of birth rather than the actual day.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I want to know serial killers that were born on a Sunday or something like that. Do you know? Because if it's like Ted Bundy for me and like Marilyn Manson or something.
Marilyn Manson?
Yeah.
He's not a serial killer.
Marilyn Manson?
No.
Oh.
No, it's...
Oh, what's his name? Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
Fucking hell. Sorry about that. Freudian slip.
John Wayne Gacy was born on a Tuesday.
Okay. Don't really know much about Gacy, if I'm honest. Though it does sound like his actual name would be Gassy. Which is the funniest serial killer ever.
When was Hitler born?
What day was Hitler born? There we go. I'll do that one. What day was Hitler born on?
I swear to God, if it's actually a Tuesday, that'd be fucking
Ooh.
hilarious.
Ted Bundy was born on a Sunday.
Ooh. We're 1-1.
Ooh. It keeps saying it's the 20th of April, 1889. But it's not saying the day, even though I asked for the
I'm
day.
going to go back. I'm going to get the calendar up.
20. You're going to scroll all the way back to 1889 to figure it out.
No, because it won't let me.
What day was Hitler born on? What day was April?
Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Yeah.
Ooh, Hitler was born on a Saturday. Shit. Saturday. Is that secretly?
Hang on.
Saturday, best day of the week.
He was born on the best day of the week. Fuck.
Damn it.
Maybe he had the... No.
I know what you were going to say, and I'm very glad you didn't. So I'm winning on the serial killer count. This is how I'm going to do with these.
No, not.
Yeah, Ted Bundy.
It's 1-1.
Yeah, but yours was Gacy. What's Gacy? How many people did Gacy kill?
He raped and murdered 33 boys.
How many did Ted Bundy get? Was he a rapist as well, or was he just a murderer?
I believe he
Defile the
was
corpses.
a racist as well.
He was racist.
Racist. Rapist.
He was a rapist as well. Well, he might have been racist.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, man, your search history's going to suddenly the
So it goes.
MI5 is going to be like, what the fuck is going on
I
here?
feel like he kept the remains in his fridge.
Didn't Charles? Oh.
Ted Bundy.
Killer, kidnapper, rapist, burglar, and necrophile.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Oh, burglar.
Victims
Scumbag.
30 plus. So we're 1-1.
Unconfirmed amount of killed. Interesting. It's amazing how one of the worst world serial killers, Harold Shipman, British.
So,
Yep.
John Wayne Gacy,
Yeah.
American serial killer and rapist. He sexually assaulted, tortured, and murdered at least 33 teenage boys and young men.
Man, he's fucked up, isn't he?
This took a dark turn.
Yeah.
Really did.
Almost like when a dark turn from Sunday.
What?
When Sunday commences. A dark turn.
You can't. No.
Dark turn of the Sunday starting. You wake up with a grievous hangover. Way too early, I'd like to point out. You might get a good lie-in on a Saturday, but on a Sunday, you don't get that fucking lie-in because you wake up with a hangover, which
What's a
wakes you up
lie-in?
earlier. Yeah, but that's because you, mate. You might wake up on a Saturday. Oh, yes, it's nice and refreshing. And then Sunday, you wake up with a steaming hangover at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning, dehydrated to fuck. You have to go to the bathroom immediately to try and douse your face with cold water and maybe consume some of the cold water. Go to the toilet and have the brownest piss you've ever had in your entire fucking life. You may need a poo then, you may not do. So you might have one of the world's worst shits you ever do in your entire life on a Sunday. Then you try and consume as much greasy food as possible to try and make yourself feel better and consume copious amounts of paracetamol that a doctor would often say would be a lethal dose. You then also consume copious amounts of caffeine to try and make yourself more awake, to prepare yourself for the inevitable social interactions of having to deal with either your family or friends on Sunday. You then deal with those people, and often you're not in a good mood because of the copious amounts of alcohol you drank on the Saturday. You then have the trials and tribulations of trying to either prepare a Sunday roast or prepare to receive a Sunday roast, where your mother or considerable other will want some kind of recognition for making delicious food, and you're not in the mood for giving them that recognition because you're a grumpy arsehole because you consumed copious amounts of alcohol on Saturday, and you've woken up and done the worst shit in your entire life, and you've consumed too much water, and the caffeine hasn't done anything for yourself. Then you have to get yourself prepared for school and or work. Then you've got to go through the trials and tribulations of doing all of your washing of clothes and ironing in a very short period of time, whereby you forget about the ironing and can't be arsed, and you walk into work with a creased shirt. You also will struggle to be able to get to bed on time on a Sunday because you've been awake the previous night too late, and therefore you can't get to sleep correctly, so therefore the pain of Sunday will drag forwards into the pain of Monday. Therefore, my continual hypothesis is Sunday is the worst, due to the fact of rolling issues. You having to go through the anarchy of being a socialite and also being an employee.
This is why I say just go out on Fridays.
Should we get your opinion here, Josh? What's your worst? What do you think is the worst day? And then should we then go through what we think is the best day?
I think we can all agree Saturday's the best.
I'd have to say either Sunday or Monday are the worst.
Sunday or Monday?
Yeah.
Why Monday? Because I'm curious as to why you think Monday.
Because it's the first day
Back of hell.
your working week, and it's just
Or school.
yeah. And for me, it just drags on. Obviously, you have a different opinion, Sam. But yeah, I just find it like the most draining day
And then why do you think Sunday is bad as well?
because you're having to get ready for
It's a mental preparation, I mean.
mentally prepared. Yeah.
Mentally prepared for having to be forced into a steel and concrete box with recirculated air and humans that you don't actually really know very well, but you're basically forced to work with. Like I am obviously making it sound a lot worse than it actually is, because there's obviously some people really love their jobs and they get on with people.
Here's a little tip. Don't do any of the mental preparation for work until you're actually on your way to work.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I've started going to the gym now before work, and that makes me feel a lot happier because basically I work out any of the aggression or anger I may have had.
And it releases
before.
the endorphins that
And
actually make you feel better for the rest
Yeah,
of the day.
exactly. So I thoroughly recommend anyone who doesn't really feels a bit grumpy or lethargic in the morning when they get to work, just go to the gym beforehand or go for a run beforehand. It'll be quite cool. But I will say that Sunday is meant to be the day of rest. I find it I just find it really kind of boring as well.
Super Sunday, mate.
I know you're a football
Super
fan.
Sunday!
Not everyone's a football fan. People in America, they have American football's on. But I think, that sport has transcended God. Because people don't go to church on Sunday, they watch American football on Sunday in America. And people don't go to church in Britain, they go watch Super Sunday. It's like those sports, football, for either or. I'm just going to call it football because I can't be arsed giving them the specific titles. Football. As in, I can't be arsed calling them different things than what they call themselves. Football
and hand egg.
has transcended God on a Sunday.
Well, that's because sport actually exists.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we don't know.
Once again, to our American viewers, fuck you.
Well, we just don't know. Like, no one can absolutely say for certain because you don't know.
Well, you can absolutely say for certain that sport exists.
True. Well, yeah, I guess so. You could say, oh, well, it's just employment. You get what I mean? It's up to interpretation.
What? Yeah, it's employment in a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's employment.
So
Somebody's job. Yeah, but the argument of, if we're going to do this,
Also-
the argument of just because I can't prove something exists doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
True, but it's
You know.
up to the person to prove that it does exist.
It's like if I couldn't feel, it's not.
The thing is,
Yeah,
guys,
It's not. It's like if I can't see wind, and I can only see the effect of wind. Sorry. Does it mean that if I'm just stood in
no,
a valley
you
and
can
there's
see
no
the effect of wind,
but people will
and
argue.
it's been scientifically proven.
People will
It
be
is
ar-
fact.
People will argue that you can see the effects of God.
People will argue that.
Yeah,
But
but look, I'm not saying. I'm not saying this. All right, I don't give a fuck if people believe certain things or not. But if you don't know,
I don't. I just like to take the piss.
just people don't know. You just don't know. That's the way I put it. You can't say people who go, I'm a complete atheist or a nihilist or something like that. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know. You
Technically-
you believe you're correct. But then,
Technically, we are all agnostic.
yeah, you believe you're correct. But it's like people who believe in religion believe there is something. Your belief is not scientific fact
No.
on either spectrum. But I'm not going to shit on someone's belief because, good for you. If that
I am
helps you,
because I'm a knobhead.
if that helps you in your life, you are a knobhead. You are a knobhead, and me and Josh can agree with that. But if if that belief helps you in your life, so if you're a fucking ardent Catholic and that makes you happy, good. If you're an ardent nihilist and that makes you happy, makes your life better, as long as it makes your life better, good. Which when it makes your life bad, you go, shit.
Oh, when it makes other people's lives
Or
bad.
when it affects other people's lives, when you start imposing. So if you were a nihilist and you went, when you die, that's it, fuck it and everything. So I might as well just go around and start just shagging everyone and trying to get as much money as possible before I inevitably die. Like, you treated people like shit. Like, that's bad. But if you're like, oh, I'm a nihilist, people just die, that's it. But I'm gonna have as many nice interactions with other people on this planet, then that's good, because you're acting as a nice person. Boom. We just settled.
Yeah. Can we segue back to a normal debate, please?
Yes.
So, I might change my answer and say Mondays are the worst, because on Sundays I normally just spend it like watching films and stuff, which I enjoy.
Cool. That's fair enough. Hey, I'm not gonna shit on your beliefs.
Because Sunday's still kind of a chill day, to be honest, but you've also got the mental preparation for work.
Yeah, you got a lot of preparation, I think, physically as well. Like, you got to get stuff ready for work, for school. Yeah,
True.
and like,
but I get my shit together through the week, so then I have a weekend to myself.
I think the weekend, like, I do a lot of washing, like, get all your clothes washed, ironed if it can be arsed, which you can't normally. You got to get all your food prepared for the week. Like, you don't want to be paying for food at work because it's usually extortionately expensive. You might have work that you should have done, like homework if you're at school, for example, you should have done, so you have to do it on Sunday. There's a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that it's a lie. Like, Sunday's a lie to me, basically. It's meant to be the day of rest, and it turns out to be completely stressful. Well, I think Saturday is like it can be a bit more of a, you can have it as a restful day, or you can have it a bit as a party day, and it's like Saturday doesn't lie to you. Monday doesn't lie to you. Monday's like, yeah, I'm a ball bag, and you're not going to like it. Tuesday's like, I'm a bit less of a ball bag. Like, Tuesday's not a liar, in my opinion.
I think it is. I think it's saying that Tuesday is like, I'm a bit less of a ball bag, but it's not. It's either the same as Monday or worse.
I think Tuesday is what Monday should be. There we go. I think just Monday's just a weird, stressful day that everyone gets like really angry about and anxious and fed up with and blah blah blah. But Tuesday's the actual day where the work week actually begins.
Every day should be like Friday through the working week.
So they did. There's some companies they change it so that your Friday you finish earlier than you would on a normal working week, which I'm a big fan of. I think that's a good idea because, like, people they obviously must know that people are not very productive on a Friday, and I'm not. I mean, like, when you think about it, like, is anyone super productive on a Friday? Like, are you? First of all, are you willing to stay late on a Friday? Most people would say no, and that's an honest answer because you want to go and see your family or your friends. Second point on a Friday is that it's like, it's that day when you get in there and you're like, yeah, I've only got 8 hours or 9 hours or however many hours you work of this until the weekend, and then I can party, or I can hang out with my friends, or I can just chill at home. Now what we've got to talk about, though, is the people who do like part-time work or maybe work over the weekends. And I think for them, a Sunday is really, really, really bad because they get the jealousy effect because they believe that Sunday is like the day of rest, which I think obviously is a lie, and it's obviously a lie to them as well. But they have to work. So like people who work in retail, Saturday, Sunday is often two of the very busiest days for them to trade. Sunday, obviously, usually the trading hours are usually shorter. However, they think, oh, it's going to be nice. But no, a Sunday can be just as busy as a Saturday for like tourists or people visiting. And that's going to make their lives, really annoying, really, really hellish. And also, a lot of knobheads usually seem to come out of the woodwork on a Sunday. People who couldn't make it into town for Saturday, for example, couldn't make it in on a Saturday because they were busy doing their socialising and stuff, and they've chosen to come in on Sunday and start complaining to you about how they can't return their item because they don't have the receipt. Well, madam, if you had your fucking receipt, you could, but you don't. Now, fuck off.
Yeah, I remember retail hell.
Retail on a Sunday, it's bad, isn't it? I remember it on a Sunday. I didn't enjoy it, and it dragged loads. Like you were when you're doing it, and you're like, because there'd be a point where it just stopped. Like everyone had gone for their roast dinner. So what you've got there is you're having the torture of knowing people are having their roast dinner whilst you're stood in a cold shop front.
But the one plus about working retail on a Sunday is you finish earlier.
Yeah, but you still. I mean, it depends on that. It depends how many hours you're working on that on the Sunday. If you're like the manager of a store, you're working, 9 to whenever the store opens, until it closes, and then you've got to cash up and get everything sorted. Or if you're a supervisor, for example, like I think Sunday is that little lying little piece of shit that just it never turns out like you want it to. It just keeps lying to you like, oh yeah, it's going to be a nice day of rest, blah, 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 and it turns out to be a little ball bag that fucks you over. Whilst, if you work retail in like a Tuesday, you're like, oh, it's a work week, so therefore the only times it's going to realistically be busy is maybe early morning, maybe lunchtime, and maybe right at the end of the day. But it's going to be fairly quiet. And the people who are going to come in are usually probably old people who are fairly polite. Usually.
But it'll drag to fuck.
Could drag. I mean, I'm not just saying, but it's like
It will.
Sunday drags, as I was saying.
Put it this way, what would you rather have, a busy day or a completely dead day at work?
Dead day at work, because I like to know that my employer is paying me to breathe. That's what I used to think. I used to work in a bar in Scarborough, and there were some days when it literally was I was in on shift and I had one person come to the bar in that hotel I used to work at. One person, and I basically would just go around and I'd do some tidying and cleaning, but most of the time I was just stood behind the bar waiting for anyone. And I literally in my brain was just like, I'm just being paid to breathe now, and that's the best thing I love, being paid to do nothing.
You see, I don't want to go to work and just sit there with nothing to do.
Yep. Absolutely.
I just like earning money for free, because that's what I was doing.
I like being kept busy.
That's fair enough. I can kind of get on board with it, but it's like I like the idea of knowing that I'm getting paid to do nothing apart from breathe. Does that make? I know, obviously, like I'm not a job's worth. I don't try and make a rod for my own back. I don't go, oh, I've got nothing to do. Can you tell me what to do, please, manager? I used to just be like, well, my job is to do this. I will execute the job to the best of my ability. It's not my fault. You're not getting customers in. I'm not the person who's meant to stand on the front and be like, hey, it's drinks time. Everyone come in for a drink. I just literally was like, I serve drinks and that's all I do. If it's dead, it's dead. I can't force work, and I don't like that. When you've met people like that, the jobs worths who make themselves work when they don't need to. Oh, I'm going to reorganize this entire filing system. Why the hell would you do that? If it works already, just keep it as it is. Unless the thing you're going to do is going to revolutionize the entire fucking world. Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Do you kind of catch my drift on that? So that's where I'm like, okay, work week for people in retail, working day weeks are usually like pretty quiet. You don't turn over as much money. It's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday is where you turn over most of the money. I know there's some companies, they make basically 50% of their revenue over the weekend. Because a giant chunk of their money is made, or more than 50% is made over the weekend. And it's turning Sunday, a day of rest, into an absolute ball bag of having to do lots of working, and also having the torture of knowing that people are having roast dinners and you're not. That's the main one. That's why I believe Sunday is the worst day, at least for retailers. In that specific vein. In that specific vein, I don't think Tuesday's nearly as bad as a Sunday, in my opinion, for retail people.
I disagree.
Or hospitality people.
But it's mainly about what you think.
That is true.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll round this up now.
Yeah.
So if you have your own opinion about the worst day of the week, much like... so if you think it's Sunday, we'll be putting up a vote, a poll for it. If you think it's Tuesday, we'll be putting up a poll. It'll be on...
The only day of the week we didn't actually mention there was Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Here's to you, Thursday.
The quiet sleeper of the week.
Thursday's just that one that's sat in the corner going, don't mind me, guys. Just when you need me, I'll be there.
Thursday could be the secret party day, though, during the midweek. During the midweek. Because
you don't usually mind going into work if feeling a little bit groggy on a Friday, because you know it's a Friday.
Also, you might book off the Friday.
Yeah. And Thursday is actually quite cheap for drinks.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they usually has a pretty couple of deals on a Tuesday.
So we're all in agreement.
Thursday, sorry.
Should we rank? So we're all in agreement. Saturday's the best. Yeah.
Saturday, then Friday, then Thursday.
I was going to say maybe Thursday is the second place one.
Nah.
No, that's fair enough. So
Saturday, Friday,
Thursday,
Wednesday, Sunday.
For you.
For me.
Tuesday, then Sunday.
Monday, Tuesday.
I'd go. It would be Tuesday, Monday, and then Sunday is the worst. I'd say. So I can see. Like I'm almost there with Monday, but I'm like.
Actually, no, that's not right for me. Saturday's the best.
Yeah. Friday.
Sunday. I'd put Sunday third.
Yeah, that's because you like football.
Yeah. Oh, and I like a day off. And then Thursday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday.
Cool. But what we'll do is we'll put a Facebook and Twitter poll up, and you can do that. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, and also make sure that if you do actually need any of the videography or photography work we said, make sure you go to Josh's website, yorkvideopro.co.uk. Make sure you hit up his contacts, see his portfolio of work. Make sure also when you listen to listening to the podcast, that you subscribe on the different podcast players. Castbox, Podcast Player, and iTunes, I think, are our biggest ones. So make sure you subscribe when you listen. You can keep up to date with our debates. And make sure that we've also got the YouTube channel, so make sure you watch those videos. Leave a comment, give us a like, and subscribe, and let us know what you actually think, guys. We're going to be putting it out there.
So before we do sign off, we're going to do a shameless plug for Radioactive Screen.
Did we do that last week?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Yes. Exciting times coming up with the new YouTube channel for Radioactive Screen, which myself and Josh will be creating. We've already got a first little teaser video up. We were meant to do another one, but unfortunately I was a bit ill, so I will be we'll be recording that tomorrow. So it should be up soon for you guys. So yeah, we'll put the link in the description of the YouTube video for this. And we'll make sure that you're able to access it as well, so you can subscribe and like and watch and listen and do all those things.
And what is it about?
It's about film and television. Everyone's favourite medium.
So whilst you were ill, I did try record a video of myself, but there's a reason I'm behind the camera rather than in front of it.
Oh, that should be a blooper one. That 100% should be a blooper one. If
I didn't delete all the files, it could have been.
You deleted all the files? Oh.
Yeah,
This must never see the light of day.
That would have been quite funny if you'd done like a blooper one. Of you...
Pretty terrible.
You know, like where in Friends, where Chandler he's singing like ground control to Major Tom. If you'd done something like that and spliced it into some videos, that'd be quite fucking funny as a blooper reel.
Yeah, but no.
Okay. We deleted them now, so
Yeah.
So this has been episode 34.
34!
Bye, guys.
We will we will see you in the next debate of episode 35. Say goodbye, Sam.
That's how
Goodbye,
numbers work.
everybody.
Goodbye, Josh.
Bye, guys.
And it's goodbye from Simon. Have a nice day. See you later. Bye-bye.